All right, the 5-6 Washington football team is taking on the 6-5 Las Vegas Raiders, and all of a sudden, the Washington football team has won 3 straight games in a row. We watched them last night on Monday Night Football. Lead a great drive to close out that game. Puma, how are you feeling about Taylor Heinicke? Are you like losing your mind? Do you have pants tense action? What's going on right now?
I don't have pants
Oh, okay.
tent action yet. But I mean, listen, like the first half of the season before the bye week, they were asking Taylor Heinicke to throw the ball a lot. The defense was in free fall. They really didn't have a team identity at that point. But coming out of the bye week, man, like Taylor Heinicke's taking what the defense gives him, and I'm sorry, Heinicke, just because my wife, hates it when I do that, but I don't really fucking care. I love me some Taylor Heinicke.
Right.
I love me some Taylor Heinicke. I'm a little sore about fantasy football. I needed a miracle. It didn't happen because they ran the football a shit ton last night, so I'm a little bit on tilt still. But besides the point, Heinicke is doing what he should be doing. He's managing the game. He's taking what the defense is giving him, and I think we can all agree that play against Seattle last night, I believe it was the second quarter, where he looked dead to rights. I thought he was going to be sacked. The drive was going to be stalled, and the dude just wormed his way out and wormed his way out through the check down, moved the chains, got the first down. And I mean, this kid's got moxie. And right now, coming out of the bye week, Washington has really started getting an identity. They're getting those 10-minute drives. Jay, you know this from the Tampa Bay game. Like what they've been doing lately has just been road grading, slow churning, establish the run type of drives with Antonio Gibson, who, in my opinion, hasn't even hit his peak yet, because coming out of college at Memphis, he was really a wide receiver. He only took 10 snaps at the running back position, so he's still learning the position as a running back in the NFL right now. I don't think we've really seen his true potential as a running back in Washington, but they're just driving these drives out. Seattle was on the field for about 45 minutes last night. They didn't want to tackle anybody at the end of the game, and I just like the attitude that Ron Rivera is bringing to this team right now. And if you look at this game, let's say they win against the Raiders, and I personally think they're going to do, and I swear to God I'm going to get to that point as to why. Like, they win this game, the next 5 games are in the division. They get Dallas twice, they get the Giants 2 more times, I believe they face the Eagles once. Like, they go 4-1 in the division. They're winning the NFC East. But getting to this game, the Las Vegas Raiders, yes, Derek Carr is undefeated when he's throwing for 300-plus yards, but this defense has really rounded a corner, even with the loss of Montez Sweat, with the fractured jaw, and losing Chase Young with the torn ACL for the season. This is a defense that we thought we were going to get at the beginning of the year, and the offensive line for the Raiders can be had from time to time. Leatherwood, their first-round draft pick, he's not a turnstile, but you're guaranteed to get at least 2 false starts in the game that may stall a drive out or two. The secondary has been pretty decent over the 3-game stretch. Washington is a 2.5-point dog on the road against the Raiders. I love the Raiders. Jay, I don't want to get shot by your sister, but I think Washington is just on a hot streak right now, and I think Terry McLaurin is going to take advantage of the secondary of the Las Vegas Raiders. I think this is going to be kind of a sneaky shootout just because of the secondaries for both teams. The over-under is 48.5. I lean towards the over, but I love Washington to win outright.
I'm going to be the contrarian here because I have a feeling I know where Jay's going with this one. Jay, your sister ain't going to shoot me with my take on this. I have the Raiders winning this game outright and covering the 2.5 points. I think even though Darren Waller is dinged up for the Las Vegas Raiders, I think Hunter Renfrow is going to be in for a day here. He's a guy I'd want to see signed by my Patriots. He fits that mold. He's just been a target hawk all season, really. I mean, he's been a real stable fantasy player for my team here. I like Josh Jacobs. They had a solid win last week against the Cowboys. Yes, it took them to get to overtime, but I mean, I didn't really give them a chance to win that game. I thought the Cowboys were going to handle their business last week. They showed me a little something last week. I'm a big fan of your boy on the Raiders defense there, Puma, Max Crosby. I like him to have himself a day. And, if the football team finds a way to win this game, I mean, look out for them because, like you said, Puma, they got all divisional matchups to end the season. I mean, I don't know if there's many teams that actually have that built into their schedule where they're really going to control their destiny going into the the late stages of the season and the playoffs. So I am going to go with the Raiders here to cover and win outright. Parker agrees. He was pretty emphatic about agreeing with this pick here. Part of what's swaying my decision a bit here. Also, I just want to hear a blow up next week from Puma about how the football team lays an egg. But yeah, give me the Raiders. Parker takes the Raiders as well. Let's go Derek Carr.
I'm right there with you, Parker, and my sister. I'm taking the Raiders to win this game. And listen, I've been really impressed with the Washington football team and the formula they found, and the formula is absolutely wonderful for cold Northeast football, like what you've seen last night, where they run the ball, they keep it away, 19 plays, 80 yards, 10 minutes, 26 seconds to close out against the Buccaneers a few weeks ago. And then obviously last night they kept the ball away from Seattle as well. And that works wonderful in the Northeast in the cold. However, this game is inside in Las Vegas. And my fear is if the Raiders get up to a big lead and they take the ball out of the running back's hands, obviously Washington football team will have to match point for point with the Raiders. If the Raiders go off, that's when you put the game on Taylor Heinicke. And sure, we all love him, but do I think he's going to throw for 400 yards, 350 yards in Las Vegas and beat them? I don't think so. So while I do like what the Washington football team is doing and what they're going to be, how they're going to be able to beat some of these teams in the cold in the next month or so, I think for this game, I think the matchup favors the Raiders. And the other part of this is I'm really impressed with the Raiders and what they've done so far. Like, they've been up and down all year, and that's to be expected because of all the turmoil they've had, whether John Gruden or Henry Ruggs or whoever it is. But I did not expect them to come out and win on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys in Dallas. I mean, that's like the holy grail for Dallas Cowboy fans is Thursday. Thursdays, Thanksgiving Thursdays, and they watch their team play against blow somebody out. But I didn't expect them to go into Dallas and win, and they did. And I've been impressed with them so far. So that's why I'm taking them to win this game.
All right. It's fine. I'll be comfortable on my island, drinking my tea like Kermit the Frog once Washington comes out with the W.
Yeah. You mean whiskey. You mean whiskey, not tea.
Yeah, the Puma, I know you're a Taylor Heinicke fan, but do you think he can, let's say Derek Carr does get to that magic number of 300 yards and they're putting up points, do you think he can go point for point with Derek Carr? Without the running game, obviously.
We saw, and I'm not going to look through rose-colored glasses with Heinicke. There were times last night he had one interception. In reality, he should have had two. Like, there were a couple of throws that were just lame ducks. He didn't really drive the ball forward, but I think he's going to get something going with Terry McLaurin and De'Ami Brown and a couple of the other guys, Sims and whatnot. And J.D. McKissick, he might be out, but he's a great pass-catching running back, too. Like, I think they're going to, by hook or by crook, get the offense going. He's going to have to succeed through the air. But, I mean, really, Damon Arnett, air quote, was their best cornerback, and they let him go 3 weeks ago because of the gun, Snapchat video he put up. Like, you're telling me, Terry McLaurin's going to get locked up by any of those corners in that secondary? Like, I think he's got some wiggle. I think he's going to burn Jonathan Abram, because I've said it last week on the pod that Jonathan Abram is really just Jamal Adams 2.0. He's a liability in coverage. Like, I think they're going to get a connection going. He's going to break free a couple of times, and yeah, I think he can go toe to toe with Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, and if they somehow come up with a victory, in a effort where Taylor Heinicke is your guy throwing you to victory, then you've got a really dangerous Washington football team on your hand, because now they can win one way, they can run the ball, they can throw the ball, and that defense is playing really well. That is something, if I'm the Cowboys, looking at and really terrified of over the next couple of weeks or so.
And not to mention, they have a really, really good coach in Ron Rivera.
They do.